Hello boys and girls, Miss Doyle here. We are going to do an Earth Day craft today because today is Earth Day. I'm going to go over the materials that we'll need and also an alternative in case you don't have some of the materials, and then we will get started. First, we're going to need a bigger piece of mounting paper. If you don't have a bigger piece of paper, that's okay. You don't have to mount the project at the end. We're going to need a lighter piece of construction paper, maybe it's brown or tan, something along those lines. A coffee filter. This is where we'll have alternatives. If you don't have a coffee filter, you can use like a paper plate or just a white piece of paper, and you're going to be doing something a little bit different. But if you have that coffee filter, you're going to need markers, and then we're also going to need water if you're using the coffee filter. If you're using paper or a paper plate, then you're going to need to use paint. Lastly, we're going to need a pen or pencil and then some scissors to finish off our project. So let's head over and we're going to work on this, and then we'll check back in at the end. Okay, so again, we're going to need a larger piece of mounting paper. It could be white or any color that you have. A smaller piece of a skin toned color. It can be brown, tan, or a lighter shade of white. We're going to need a coffee filter and markers. If you don't have the coffee filter, you're going to need to use a piece of paper or a paper plate and paint. Lastly, if you're using the coffee filter again, you're going to need water and then scissors and a pen or pencil for tracing. Okay, we are going to start by taking our coffee filter and placing it down on a flat surface. After we're on a surface that we can color on, we want to flatten the coffee filter out as best we can. We're only going to be using two colors when we color in our filter today. It's going to be green and blue. You can do any shades you like, but a brighter green and then more of a darker blue would be better. So I'm going to start with the green. I'm going to make a couple green patches on the coffee filter. They could be toward the center or around the outside. So as I color this in here, I'll let you see what I'm talking about. And they don't have to be perfect by any means. It can be scribbles, it can be shapes. So I've done two so far, and I'm just going to go around and make a couple more green marks. Okay, that looks pretty good. So once we have a couple green spots on our filter, we're going to go back in with the blue marker now and color in all the white areas with our blue marker. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Scribbles are fine. We just want to try to color in as much of that white space as possible. So when we're finished coloring the blue, it should look like this. All of our white is pretty much colored in with the blue marker, and then we have those green spots along the edges or plopped into the middle. Okay, after I finished coloring in my coffee filter, I'm going to place it on a washcloth. You don't have to put it on a washcloth or a towel if you don't want to. Just make sure that the surface that you're going to do the next part in can get wet. So again, I placed mine right on top of the washcloth. And now I'm going to take my water. I have mine in a bottle here, but if you have a spray bottle or just want to sprinkle it on there, that will work too. So we're going to go ahead and give a little bit of shakes onto here. Now less is more with the water. So we don't want to drench it, we just want to help spread the marker out a little bit. And then we're going to leave it on here to dry for a couple minutes. Okay, so while our coffee filter is drying, we are going to take our skin colored paper, whether it's white, brown, tan, and we are going to trace our left and our right hands on the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and trace mine real quick. And you can have someone help you, obviously, if you can't do it yourself. And once you have both hands traced on the paper, you can go ahead and cut them out. Once we finish cutting out, we should have two hands. One very important material that I forgot to mention is a glue stick. So if you don't have a glue stick, you're going to need that before we get to the next part of our project. Next, we are going to take our mounting paper and do a large circle of glue in the center of the page. This is where our coffee filter is going to be placed. We have that big circle of glue. We're going to place our coffee filter on the paper, and I'm just going to use my towel to help press it down because mine is still a little damp. Making sure that it's nice and flat against the paper. After we've glued down our coffee filter, we're going to take our hands and glue them down onto the paper. So I am going to put some glue over here on this side of my opposite hand. Okay, and then when I place it down on the mounting paper, we want the palm of the hand to be toward the bottom and the fingers to be touching the coffee filter if possible. If the fingers don't reach the coffee filter, you can either move the palm up higher on the paper or you can trim the paper at the bottom so that it reaches. When we finish gluing the hands, our paper should look like this. When you're finished gluing, I'd like you to take some time and look up your favorite quote about the world or the earth. I went ahead and added mine to the top of the page to complete my project. I have completed my Earth Day art project, and I chose the quote, "He's got the whole world in his hands." I hope you guys enjoyed our Earth Day art project today, and I would love to see what quotes you chose to put on the top of your projects. So don't be shy, you can send them on over, and I would love to see them. Have a great day.